Are you guys ready? Wonderful. Time. I truly believe that quality in coffee can only be created at the origin. Anything we as coffee enthusiasts are able to do is preserve the potential created from the hard work the coffee producers put into our coffees. This can sometimes feel like it's at odds with these competitions, where the focus can too quickly turn to innovation for the sake of innovation and putting all the focus onto myself when I'm really just a small piece of this puzzle. That is not what I want to be doing here today, because I've found a coffee I think can truly speak for itself. When I tasted it at the cup and table, it presented with a welcoming aroma, a lively acidity, and an absolutely excellent body. And it really reminded me of a very first cup of coffee that convinced me to start a career in this industry. This was all at a time where I was unsure if I even wanted to continue working in coffee. But it made me realize that being able to share these simple but joyful moments with my friends, family, and of course, customers is truly what I live for and why I started competing in the first place. These moments are only possible thanks to excellent producers like Sebastian Ramirez over at El Placer in Colombia, who's produced the coffee I will be presenting today. The coffee is of the Ethiopian heirloom varietal Wush Wush, especially known for its dense sweetness and excellent fruitiness, which you will notice in the final brew. To process this coffee, we start by picking the cherries at the optimal ripeness to present fruit flavors, and then anaerobically ferment these for 24 hours, which increases the body and intensifies the aromatics. They then depulp the coffee, and with the fruit mucilage still intact, which increases the perceived sweetness, they lay them out on covered patios to dry for 20 whole days, where they turn them over hourly to ensure that the gentle floral note stays intact. Here, Sebastian and his team has provided us with a coffee harboring exceptional potential. And my job is simple. I just need to not mess this up. So, together with the roasting team over at Onyx Coffee Labs, we found that gentle heat application, a total roast time of 9 minutes and 46 seconds, and a DTR of 16.4% allowed this coffee its most natural state, effectively letting us step out of the spotlight and celebrating the labor of the producers. To preserve the potential during the brewing phase, I've chosen to use a V60, as a conical brew like this allows for more of inherent complexity to shine through. I'm using 17 grams of coffee to 240 milliliters of water, a 1:14 brewing ratio, as this allows for the natural intensity of a fruitiness and aroma to stand out. I've used a set P6 grinder at a coarse grind size of 5.0, as this allows me to balance the acidity with the body. I'm using water set at 90 degrees Celsius to ensure that to stave off bitterness and astringency that hot brewing could introduce. My water consists of 20 parts per million magnesium to highlight sweetness, 40 parts per million calcium to preserve the body, and 40 parts per million potassium bicarbonate to articulate the acidity. For the rest of my brewing, I wanted to keep things simple to ensure that I let the raw materials speak out. I'm doing a 4-pour recipe with 60-gram pours spaced 30 seconds apart. My first pour started in the center and then spirals outwards, which ensures even saturation of the grounds during this blooming phase. And it's important to let the coffee start off gassing. And it's important to let all of these gases out simultaneously, which ensures an even extraction through diffusion, allowing me to highlight the balance of a brew. My 3 remaining pours are all completely identical. They start at the edge of the coffee bed to ensure that all the coffee gets hit with fresh solvent, leading to a more even extraction, and then move into a center pour, which allows me to hit even the deepest parts of the coffee bed with agitation, which allows me to draw out even more sweetness. I've chosen this 4-pour recipe as it prolongs the overall contact time of a brew, which is mandatory for this coarse grind size I've chosen. And this leads us to a final drawdown of 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which is where I found this coffee to manifest a beautiful harmony between sweetness, acidity, body, and aroma. As the coffee finishes drawing down, I want to start going over the notes you can expect from this coffee. But first, let me guide you through the tasting experience to get you guys the best possible experience. I want you to assess the aroma directly out of the decanters by giving it 3 gentle swirls, or vigorous swirls, and putting it up to your nose before assessing. The acidity, I want you guys to use the provided cupping spoons. For the rainy aspects, I want you to drink directly out of a cup. And please take the trays with a cupping spoon and cups with you guys so you can taste with both of them at all temperatures. For the aroma, you can expect chamomile, raspberry jam, and honey. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Are you guys ready to continue? In the hot taste, you can find raspberries and chamomile. These notes will persist through all temperatures. As the coffee goes to warm, a note of oranges and red apple emerges. As it goes to cool, you will find papaya. For the hot aftertaste, you will find rooibos tea, and jasmine. As it cools, you will find that a note of dark chocolate emerges, as well as red apples. The acidity is medium high. It's citric, and a tiny bit malic like that of plums, and it remains the same throughout all temperatures. The body is medium high. It's round and soft at hot, and goes to airy and creamy while it cools. The sweetness is at medium. At hot, you will find honey, and as it cools, it turns to a bittersweet herbal honey. Dear judges, it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be able to stand here at the world stage here in Chicago and brew coffee for you guys. But really, all the hard work was done by Sebastian and his team over at El Placer. I'm only here to share it with you guys. And I want to personally thank Sebastian for reminding me of why I love specialty coffee as much as I do. And I can only hope that my effort here on stage serves to give you guys an absolutely lovely tasting experience that's reflective of all the hard work that's been put into this coffee. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Time.